So today we are going to discuss about cybersecurity. This is because of our neighbor China, who has done something in Mumbai and Telangana which has caused power outage. So let us see what they have done. A Massachusetts-based firm published a report saying that it observed a steep rise in use of resources like malware by Chinese group called as Red Eco. This malware was named as ShadowPad. So, Red Eco is a Chinese group which is using a malware ShadowPad. This ShadowPad malware uses a backdoor to access servers. Thus, 10 districts were affected by this malware ShadowPad. Another similar incident happened in which a malware Stone Panda was used to gather information about the vaccine. It was used against Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute of India. Thus, the topic has gained importance for discussion. Let us go into definition of cybersecurity. So, cybersecurity is the security of information and its communicating channels as applied to computing devices such as computers, smartphones, as well as computer networks such as private and public networks, including the internet as a whole. Another definition which we should know is about cyberspace. It is a complex environment consisting of interaction between people, software, and services, supported by worldwide distribution of information and communication technology devices and networks. Let us look at the sources responsible for such activities. Okay. It can be a nation state, a cyber criminal organization, terrorist, or hackers or hacktivists. Act, hack, this term, hacktivist, means hacking done for social and political gains. Let us look to the important terms used. First one is viruses. Virus is a type of malware that propagates by inserting a copy of itself into and becoming a part of another program. Okay. Ransomware. Ransomware is a malicious software in which your access to a file is blocked by the software. The access is only granted if you provide some monetary transfer to the person who has hacked your computer or your device. The next is worms. Computer worms are similar to viruses in that they replicate functional copies of themselves and cause the same type of damage. So what is the difference between virus and worm? The next word is Trojan. A Trojan is a harmful piece of software that looks legitimate. Unlike viruses and worms, Trojans do not reproduce by infecting the files, nor do they self-replicate. Denial of services or DOS. This is the most infamous attack among the attacks on communication network and most difficult to eliminate. The ease of attack and potential of damage makes them an important threat that deserves special attention. One other term named distributed denial of services or DDoS refers to a simultaneous attack on many systems which temporarily bring down the target website or system. IP spoofing. It is an attack from an attacker outside the targeted network by pretending to be a trusted computer. It is the use of IP address of the targeted network for authorized and trusted IP address. It leads to injection of malicious data or command structure in existing communication network between clients. One of the most famous terms is phishing. It refers to gaining private and personal information for identity theft using fraudulent emails, making them appear to be received from a legitimate source. Luring targets to give critical information such as bank accounts, credit card details, login ID, and password. Viruses or Trojan. Trojan horse is an application disguised to hide the original identity of attack tool. Next term is farming. It is a method used by Fisher to deceive users into believing that they are communicating legitimate websites. Farming uses variety of technical methods to redirect a user to fraudulent and spoofed website when the user types a legitimate website web address. Stands for a SQL stands for Structured Query Language, a programming language used to communicate with database. Many of servers that store critical data for website and services uses SQL to manage the data in their data. SQL injections uses malicious code to get the information from the servers it normally wouldn't. Let us now discuss what are the types of cyber threats. Here we are going to discuss four types of cyber threats which are most important. First one is cyber espionage. So in this, it is an act of obtaining secret information using computer networks without the permission of secret holders from individual competitors, enemy countries for economic, political and military purposes. In 2009, PM, okay, in 2009, PMO was alleged victim of cyber espionage by Chinese hackers. Again, Chinese hackers are been involved. Second one is cybercrime. Cybercrime is an offensive action by individual or organization targeting computer information system networks with an intention to damage or destroy the critical information and infrastructure. According to National Crime Records Bureau, the instances of cybercrimes are at an all-time high due to the penetration of communication network. Third one is cyber warfare. It is a nation-state actor's action to penetrate an enemy or competitor's nation computer or networks with intent of causing damage or disruption. The next one is most important, that is cyberterrorism. Cyberterrorism is convergence of terrorism and cyberspace. It is generally understood to mean unlawful attacks and threats of attack against computer networks and information stored therein when done to intimidate or force a government or its people in the furtherance of political, social objectives. Further, to qualify as a cyber terrorism, an attack should result in violence against person or property, or at least cause enough harm to generate fear. Serious attack against critical infrastructure could be act of cyber terrorism depending upon their impact. So, Let us again see the four headings. The first one was cyber espionage, second is cyber crime, third is cyber warfare, and fourth is cyber terrorism. Let us look into India's position. Recently, National Cybersecurity Coordinator Lieutenant General Dr. Rajesh Pant made the following observations. Cybercrimes in India caused rupees 1.25 trillion loss in 2019. He also said that there are about 375 cases of cyber attacks every day in our country. Cyber threats will continue to increase as country starts developing smart cities and rolling out 5G networks and other initiatives. There are only few Indian companies who are making some of the cybersecurity products, and there is a big vacuum in the sector. So, dedicated industry forum for cybersecurity should be set up to develop trusted indigenous solution to check cyber attacks. So, we are going to discuss now about the cyber attacks in India earlier. First happened in 2016, which was a phishing activity that we have discussed earlier. So, it was in Union Bank of India, which had lost nearly $171 million due to this activity. In May 2007, in May 2017 and June 2017, two ransomware named as WannaCry and Petya affected India. In May 2017, data theft at Zomato was done, in which was which was a case of ethical hacking. Do you remember UPSC website was also once hacked? Tell me when it was done. So, to prevent such disruptions, government has taken certain steps. First one is Information Act of 2000. The Information Act of 2000, amended in 2008, is primary law dealing with the cybercrime and digital commerce in India. Second one is National Cybersecurity Policy 2013. The policy provides for a vision and strategic direction to protect the national cyberspace. The CERT-In or Cyber Emergency Response Team India. CERT-In has been operational since 2004. It is a national nodal agency for responding computer security incidents as and when they occur. Next one is Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, that is I4C. The union government has decided to set up a I4C. It will help. It will be an apex coordinating center to deal with cybercrime. Next one is Cyber Swachh Kendra. Here, uh, next one is Cyber Swachh. Next one is Cyber Swachhata Kendra. It was launched in earlier. Okay. Next one is Cyber Swachhata Kendra. Launched in early 2017, the Cyber Swachhata Kendra provides a platform for the user to analyze and clean the system of various viruses, bot, malwares, and trojans. Next is Cyber Surakshit Bharat. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology launched Cyber Security launched Cyber Surakshit Bharat initiative to spread awareness about cyber crimes and building capacity for safety measures of, of building capacity for safety measures for Chief Information Security Officers (CISOs) and uh, uh, frontline IT staff all across the government departments. The Cyber Warrior Police Force. In 2018, government announced its plan to introduce a Cyber Warrior Police Force (CWPF). It is proposed to be raised on the lines of CAPF, that is, Central Armed Police Force. Cyber Crime Prevention Against Women and Children Scheme. Implemented by Ministry of Home Affairs, the scheme aims to prevent and reduce cyber crimes against women and children. So again, we'll look at which all things we have discussed. First one was IT Act of 2000, which was amended in 2008. Second was National Cybersecurity Policy of 2013. Third was CERT-In, which was introduced in 2004. Then was the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. Was the Cyber Swachhata Kendra, Cyber Surakshit Bharat, Cyber Warrior Police Force, and the last was Cyber Crime Prevention Against Women and Children Scheme. So now we'll discuss the challenges to India's cybersecurity. First one is the lack of coordinated cyber approach. Although India was one of the few countries to launch cybersecurity policy in 2013, not much has transpired in terms of coordinated cyber approach. Countries like USA, Singapore, UK, where there is a single umbrella organization dealing with cybersecurity. However, India has 36 different central bodies. Most ministries have their own that deals with the cyber issue, and each has a different reporting structure. Each state government has its own CERT, that is Computer Emergency Response Team. Thus, the task becomes difficult as no central agency is there to look after it. Then, as the National Cyber Security Strategy of 2020 is yet to be announced, this was needed to devise a cyber readiness roadmap for organizations and government for cyber readiness. Further, India doesn't have an active cyber defense like European Union's General Data Protection Regulation or US's Clarifying Lawful Overseas Use of Data Cloud Act. Lack of proactiveness. While certain has responded the cyber threats, it has been late in conducting security checks and often has released advisories once an attack has taken place, that is, the post-mortem job. In the case of WhatsApp and Pegasus, certain only came in after others had warned the possibility of individuals being compromised. Further, inadequate modernization of computer system. Government itself uses legacy systems which are vulnerable to the cyber attacks. Countries like China, Singapore, in meanwhile have progressed towards creating cyber defense network. Dependence on the foreign players for the cyber security tools. India lacks indigenization in hardware as well as software cyber security tools. This makes India's cyberspace vulnerable to cyber attacks motivated by state and non-state actors. So, on a concluding note, we can say that seeing to the recent attack of China, it has become imperative to address each challenge mentioned above and come with a robust system which will have minimum security concerns. Thank you.